Hey everybody, how are you today? Yes, we have another live stream for today for the channel, and I am super excited to see those of you in the chat. I'm seeing a couple new names as well, which is great. Hello and hi. Listen, I know we're all getting a little stir crazy with everything going on. A lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are starting to plan on working from home. So I thought it'd be kind of nice to definitely make sure we get a live stream going for today. And the other thing that's been happening a lot are people asking me how I paint the clear miniatures so they keep their transparency but get some color. So I thought it'd be fun to take the WizKids elementals, and yes, there are 3 sitting here because 3 of them are clear and one of them, Earth, this fellow, he's your standard mini. And oh, this is interesting. My camera has flipped suddenly on me. So wasn't like this 5 minutes ago. Anyways, this is something I will paint at a different time because it's basically a standard mini, primed and everything like that. What I'm going to do is take a look at the other elementals. We have water as well as fire. And then there is air. So these are the 3 I'm going to work on, and I'm going to twist things up a little bit and kind of change it because I want to make sure that the recommendations I'm giving to people who are watching this, who want to recreate this, it's something where you don't feel like you have to have a certain brand of paint or anything like that. So I'm going to be using more generic terms for these paint colors and explain what you can do if you don't have these particular paints or styles of paints instead. I just want to make this something that's a little bit more accessible. So if you're at home and you have some paints at home, you can at least get started and recreate some of this stuff. So focus is going to be these 3, which I think will be a lot of fun. Remember, it's always a little bit fuzzy down the bottom here because when I start to lift up to paint, that's where you start getting the detail. And this is going to make me a little bit crazy. I don't know how this happened. This is pretty funny. I see Jake in the channel chat. Jake, did you ever have OBS just sort of go like, no, we're mirror imaging you all of a sudden? Because my camera just did that to me, and I'm kind of like, what? Let me see here. Why does it do mirror image? You brat. Okay. That's going to make things better. Yeah, it flipped over. Okay. Yay! Now we're back to where I need it to be. All right, so before I get started, in case those of you missed it or didn't hear and or see between my Twitter and my Facebook posts, I announced who the mystery company was because I have been hinting to the fact that I'm going to start working with a company, or I have started working with a company, and I'm happy to say that company is WizKids. They are a wonderful, wonderful group of people. It has been thrilling to get in there and start working and kind of getting the behind the scenes of it all. So yes, I'm working in their PR and marketing as an RPG rep, which means I get to reach out to basically people I already work with and talk with, having the channel. And it's a great experience thus far. But right now, I'm working from home. Like I said, as are many of you. Miguel. So hello to everyone who is just joining. I'm seeing some more names popping up. It is absolutely lovely to see you in the chat. But yeah, I'm going to be working with WizKids. I am one of their contracted people, and it's been a lot of fun so far, and a lot of minis. It's cool because I'm at the warehouse, and every so often I get to walk into the warehouse, and it's sort of like walking into Indiana Jones at that very end scene with all the crates and stuff, except it's full of different stuff from NECA and from WizKids, and it's like a kid in a candy shop just kind of standing there like, wow. It's a lot of fun. I'm thrilled to bits about it. So that's the big announcement. That's who the company is, and we have some fun things planned for you in the future, and I can't wait to get things started, and we'll see where it all goes. But now let's start with these fellows. So I did save their packaging, and now that it's not mirrored anymore, look at that. So here's air. And as you can see, it gets some coloring up at the top, and then it goes down to the clear with just an earthy base at the bottom. I'm not going to be doing the bases today because they're techniques that you've seen me do before. This, I really want to focus on the clear. Here is the fire. Oh, there's a song I was about to start singing, but I'll save you that one because it's one that'll get stuck in your head. And then here is the water. Now, they all have some sort of facial expression, which I think is fantastic for the elementals. And like I said, there is also earth. So you have earth, air, fire, water, no heart. I had to, okay? Name that cartoon if you remember that one. So I'm going to first start with, hold on. What am I going to start doing? I need a particular brush. So I'm going to first start with getting, in this case, I'm going to be doing some dry brushing. So with dry brushing, I always like to use a flathead style brush. They do very well for dragging across the miniature and bringing out some texture. Now, because I'm also working on a larger surface area here, I'm going to jump up to another larger brush as well. So I'm going to go between the flathead and this more angled tip brush, because I find that this angle is great for getting into the little nooks, well, not into, but meandering through those nooks and crannies. Captain Planet, you've got it! Puddin wins that one. And then Michael jumped in too. Hello. So those are the brushes I like to use for this. Now, paint-wise, what I'm going to do, let me take a sip of water. It's allergy season. I had to take my allergy medicine, and hello. Oh, that's another good one, Jake. That would have been a good one. We didn't start the fire. Although, if you read news articles, you could almost put those to that song, I swear. So what I'm going to be using today to paint these miniatures are metallic-based paints. Why metallics? Metallics tend to be a little bit more translucent on their own. If you've ever painted with them, you notice that a lot of times they need a lot more to layer on for full coverage if you're looking for full coverage, and you often have to work with a base color underneath. So because I'm using metallics, I know that it's going to be a lighter coverage, which helps keep the transparency of these particular minis. I also like how they blend so that you don't have to overload things to get paint to blend together and everything like that. So that's what I'm going to start doing. And who do I want to paint first? I think I'm going to do Air. So with Air, I'm kind of taking this, and there is the original cover art, which you are absolutely welcome to use on the box. So you can see here's the original cover art. You're keeping it mostly clear at the base and then zipping it up to some grays and blacks at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kind of work with gray toned metallics. So silvers and blacks and that type of thing. If you only have a silver metallic at home, but you have white, you can play around with this, white and black. You can play around with it a little bit to bring the color of silver up a couple levels or down a couple levels. If you want to lighten your silver, obviously add a little hint of white. A little is going to go a long way with metallics, trust me. Or reverse it and you can add in your black. The other little trick you can do is you can add the metallic to a matte paint. Just keep in mind, whenever you're blending in non-metallics with metallics, it will reduce the metal sheen that will result on the miniature. So that's just something to take into consideration. So let me just, I see the chat's quite active here. Brad is saying, being isolated at home with COVID. Oh, honey. Well, I'm very happy to be able to join you for a little bit and give you some entertainment. Please take care of yourself and stay safe. All right. So that is the plan with him. I'm going to get started with the gray tones. All right. So if you have a metallic silver at home, you can play around with either adding white or black, if you have those two, or if you have different levels of gray, you can add the silver to your grays. Just make sure your metallic is a higher ratio to your matte. Okay. Another sip of water and then we're going to go. So I'm going to start with my lightest silver, and I'm basically going to work the color up because I want to keep the base sort of clear. Just to get that going. And let me shake this one. I think it's been a while since I've used this one. So I'm going to shake up my paint. And again, I'm not going to label the paints because I want people to be able to work with what they have at home. And I find if I mention a specific paint, sometimes people get like, I have to get that paint. No, you can use guesstimations, estimations, or similar type of thing. So I'm actually going to jump over to the big brush first. I'm telling you, I love this one. This is a Mod Podge. I do try and provide brushes because some people get very picky about brushes. So this is one of the Mod Podge that you can get their line of paintbrushes at Walmart or on plaidonline.com, I believe is the link. And it's the 1/2-inch little angle tip. So you're going to want to make sure you have a paper towel nearby so you can blot off. For those of you not familiar with what's called dry brushing, it's basically you dip your brush into the paint, and then taking a paper towel, you will blot off the paint, most of it actually. Okay, so you can see good amounts come off. Now, a little trick I like to teach to newbies is your wrist is actually a great zone for learning how to dry brush. I've actually told this technique to a couple people already this week, but you can see we have these creases and these grooves. And what these do is these mimic the texture that minis will often have. The other thing is that skin responds in a similar fashion to the plastic or the metals of your miniatures. Yes, paper towels are great, but I find people find it easier to know that their brush is at the right consistency when they test out on their wrist. So once you've blotted off your brush, you want to hold it so that it's running sort of parallel to the texture, if that makes sense, and draw it up and over your flesh. Now, of course, because this is a metal, it's not going to show up as well. But if you can still see the creases in your wrist, you know what, I'll do this with the red for the fire later. If you can still see the creases in your wrist, but the metallic is floating on the top level of your skin, that means you have the right amount going. So that's just a quick little tip that I'm going to give for those of you who are new to miniature painting, again, because a lot of people are starting to pick up hobbies. Just wanted to make sure you kind of got an idea about how dry brushing works. So I'm going to use my lighter silver, and I'm going to start it right about through here and draw it up. So I'm kind of looking at this miniature in not quarters, because it's not exactly true quarters. Think of in thirds, but the first third is split in half. There's some mathing for you. So I'm looking at, I have this section here, then we have the mid-torso, and then we have the upper portions of the body. So basically from what the knee area would be and down is where I'm going to try and focus most of this color silver and pull it up a little bit towards the middle third. So I'm going to get started here, and if you can look, you can see as I drop, you can see that the texture is these lovely little swirly folds. So I want to make sure my brush is working against those. I don't want to draw my brush across like this, because then it's going to get the bristles into the grooves. You want the bristles to run against the grooves. All right, following me? And here we go. So I'm going to start dry brushing. And it is just going to be a very light coating, because like I said, this is meant to be clear. And of course, because I've been chatting, my brush dried up a little bit. This is meant to be more transparent because of the clear basing to it. And you'll see it's just very faint coloring that goes onto it, but it's going to go on those higher ridges. You can see it happening right through here. And you'll get more of that detail coming out. And it's actually going to get more intense. Oops, let me pull this back a little bit. It's going to get more intense as you get to the darker color. I'm not looking for a super stark contrast quite yet, because again, we're starting off with the clear here and I want to start shifting into its coloring. So it helps just to kind of spin the mini around. Let me move this because I'm pulling back a little bit here. Here we go. And basically just pull across until you feel like you've gotten the coverage you've wanted. And you can always keep dipping in and pulling more paint on too if you want to. Hello, Defu, how are you? I think I'm catching everyone as they come in. Oh, and hello, Adam. It was actually a very quiet trip out to Seattle. Seattle was taking action to keep things in order, which to their credit, bravo. So honestly, it was more just visiting with friends and, lunch and dinner type of thing. Didn't do anything major, big public area, nothing like that. Did get a chance to get out to Tiger Mountain, and oh my god, that forest, the druid in me was screaming, I want to live here right now. It was amazing. I put photos up on Twitter, and I think I shared on Facebook, I don't quite recall, but it was just, it was a gorgeous environment. All right, so I'm also going to pull a little bit in the opposite direction too now, because these are nice deep grooves, which is fantastic. And you can start seeing some of this color building up right there. And I am putting a little bit above the knee, like I said, so it can start going into the other third right here is where my eye's going right now. Okay, so I'm happy with that to get things started. And see if I put my hand behind it, that's where you start seeing the difference. So it's going from this clear at the base, moving up into a lighter silver. Now we're going to move over to another silver. So this is sort of a medium gray silver as opposed to a light gray. Oh, you've been, Adam. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a few different locations where you can start your hikes. Found a really cool app that had trails with ratings and levels of difficulty. And you could also follow it map-wise. So between my taking pictures every 5 steps and using that map app, my phone drained quite quickly. There was a period of time where it's like, okay, I have to not take pictures and hope that we're staying on the trail that we're supposed to. So that was pretty funny. Okay, so you're going to find a little of this goes a very long way. So I'm going to shift over to the next color, silver. Whoops. And I'm actually going to keep my brush with a little bit of what was already on there. I find that helps with the blending. Dry brush again. This is the air elemental. Yes, Chris. So this is the Nolzur. What do you want? It's my notification. Nolzur's, why can't I speak today? Marvelous Miniatures. Air elemental. I'm hoping to work on water and fire as well. Okay, so moving up to the next silver metallic. Going up the body some more. You can see it's popping out that much more. The one that's really going to be vivid is the last one, which is basically this great black metallic that I have. Like almost a gunmetal level of darkness. It's really, really a good one. But again, if you only have the silver at home, you can add either the grays, like I said, or white and black to get it to where you want it to be. But yeah, back to Tiger Mountain. Oh my God, I definitely am hoping to go back when things obviously have calmed down. I'm hoping to get back there someday because that was just truly incredible. God, it was so pretty. Like there were a couple times I just like stopped and gaped at the beauty of things. I couldn't believe the details of the moss and the ferns and the bark of the trees. Like literally, like the trees, their bark had texture, and upon that texture was other texture. And between the terrain ideas and then the campaign ideas, because I do the Margrave wood for my players in the last air, that just gave me a couple ideas for encounters and whatnot. All right, so I'm pulling this silver up higher. And again, this is subtle more because of the color of air. It's going to pop more when we do the water and the fire, which is why I wanted to do air first. So that you can see is starting to build up more, which is what I was hoping for. Also, don't forget your arms. Make sure you get your arms. Don't forget that one. Hey, Bill, how are you? Oh, what date's in August, Adam? That's what I was worried about because traveling starts happening for me early September with the castle, so we shall see. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Oh, very awesome, Isabella. Or Isabel, I should say. Sorry, Isabel. I did a quick flick over. Yeah, now I gotta know. When they gonna do? There's gonna be a lot of rescheduling for a lot of conventions. But honestly, it's the smart thing to do to kind of just close doors for a little bit and then reopen when hopefully everyone is healthy and things are figured out. With all honesty. Trust me, I get the disappointment of not being able to see and hang out with your friends and everything like that, which is honestly why I wanted to make sure I got a stream in today. Thank you very much, Bill. I will have to see if I can swing that one. It's tempting. We shall see. I don't know. I can't say I can commit to that one quite yet. Honestly, I'm going to have to see what other conventions are doing. Because I will be going to conventions for WizKids now. Which means their conventions that they want me to go to are going to take priority over the ones that I had planned on. Especially now with these changing dates. Alright, almost done with the middle silver, and then I'm going to jump up to the darkest one that I have, which is actually closest to a black. But that gives me... You can see it makes just enough of a change. Let me grab... That gives you a difference, you can see. Like I said, the air is going to be more subtle by default. By default. I was going to say by default. No, that's someone else in a movie. Not by default. By default. I'm telling you. Now, shifting to the black metallic. I'm going to use that for the upper portion of the body. And you'll see it kind of shift even more color-wise. And again, I'm not cleaning my brush. I like to keep the other colors on and go from there. It is kind of surprising that they're going for dates already, but I think because so many conventions are postponing that people are trying to get their dates secured, shifted. for the eyes, you'll see what's going to happen with the eyes, because this isn't going to be the last step. There's a little bit more to doing these guys that I like to do. So I'm going to shift over to this darkest. And I really am going to... Let me show you his face. Oops. Just a little bit too much there. If you ever get too much on, you can always take your fingertip to blot. So let me... Sometimes you'll find pulling the brush in a different direction will get more of the texture out. But you can see this black metallic is popping out more, just as I had wanted it to. And the other thing is that if you want to make these colors more intense, you can always go back when it is dry and do it over again and add a further layer, because again, metallics, they go on a little bit more thin than others do. So you can build around your colors by doing this, especially if you're dry brushing lightly. So keep that in mind if you want it to be more pronounced. And I think I will do it towards the top of this, honestly. Let the top dry a little bit and then go back again with the darkest metallic that I have for this, just to give it a little bit more oomph. But you can see the gradient colors going on here, from the clear to the light to the mid to the dark, which is what I wanted. So yes, oh, I gotta say, Seattle, thank you for being so wonderful about people who have food issues. There are certain foods I cannot have. Like, I truly cannot have. My system gets very mad at me and I'll get sick. Seattle's the first city I've ever been to where I've been able to eat out consistently, didn't get sick. Not a single upset stomach or anything like that. Not sitting there wondering if I'm going to be able to digest my food. Nope. Every place I went to took the fact seriously that I can't have cow. No moo. No moo, no dairy. They were great about it. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise. So I was very happy with that. And oh my gosh, food was amazing. I got this amazing poke bowl. Not like Pokemon. Poke bowl, which was... I don't know what the fish was. It was sort of like a chef's choice type of thing. Couldn't tell you what the fish was in it. But I loved the flavor of it. Okay, so here we go with all of the colors layered on now. I might put some of this darker one on the hands. Like this area, I think I'm going to do. Just a little bit. So that was a fun adventure, just to kind of try out. And they were quiet little restaurants, which was nice. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit on the hands there. Honestly, Adam, that's what I was... It was like the first place I went to where I didn't get the side eye, because I'm like, but can I have this but not with this, and could you put that in instead? Because I don't want to be that woman ordering her salad where all you end up with is maybe like one of the first ingredients. But they were very understanding about it. And then it was just good to see friends. Even though it wasn't the convention, it was still good to see friends. I have a lot of friends in that area, so it was just lovely to get to kind of see them in their hometown, so to speak, and catch up with them. It really was lovely. So grateful for that, at least. But I did spend a good chunk of my time sort of self-isolating in my hotel room, which, lovely hotel. Hilton Seattle, big thumbs up. Recently renovated. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, so here we can see him taking shape. And like I said before, the base I'm going to do at a separate time, but now that I'm looking, I think what I might do is just take a little bit of this black metallic and kind of bring it around, sort of like it's stirring up dust. Let me do that through here. Yeah, I like that. That'll do nicely. Because I am going to make this like a dusty, dirty platform for them. Like a tornado is kind of where my mind is going. I'm thinking tornado. Yeah, I like putting just a little bit of that black around the bottom, just to stir things up a little bit. Hello, Kentucky Fried Games. But yeah, back to the Poke Bowl. I had no idea what the fish was. It was good fish. It was a few fish. I could tell it was different fish because of the textures. One I bit into and the taste was amazing. The texture kind of caught me off guard, and I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know because of the texture, but it does taste good. So that was kind of an interesting development. So I'm going to go back in with the black metallic and just sort of get to the upper crown of the head area and pull down on the face just to bring out a little bit more of those details, like so. And you'll see what I'm going to do to bring out the eyes and the mouth a little bit more in a minute. Let's see, Shannon Airbrush Fire Elemental with Vallejo inks. You lost the mini. Oh dear. Maybe it just sort of took itself away. It got some color and felt ready to flex its muscles. Or maybe someone summoned it. That's another possibility. Oh God. Miguel. That Miguel is joking. Remember, he's got that sense of humor. I don't know, sometimes I worry about you, dude. Oh, God. But there were a couple museums I was hoping to get to, however, didn't do it. Nope, did not go out into the public sphere to that extent. In fact, they closed the museums. They finally brought them to a close while I was there. Okay, so this is where I am going to... I always do this. I'm going to leave it here, but then I go back in really quick. So I'm going to leave the air elemental at this for now. I want to make sure these colors dry because there's another step I do with these particular miniatures. But you can see this now has, again, I'm going to bring up another one that's not painted. You can see the difference this has just by going through with the metallics alone. All right, you could arguably, if you have to get this on the table right quick because your game's starting in 20 minutes or whatever, you could easily do this and boom, there it is. So that is the air. And then, let's see, do we want to do fire or water? What do you feel like doing? I'm kind of thinking I might go for, let me just shift this over here. Let's do, I think fire because I'm holding fire. Let's do that. And the fire one's really awesome. It's got all this really cool texture and detail. What I will do with the fire base, I'm going to make this look like cracked lava. Lava bed, that's what I'm looking for. And you've seen me do that before on other miniatures, so I'm not going to do it on air. If you want to see how that technique is done, I do have a tutorial on my channel. It is the Hellcats one. If you check that one out, you'll see how I do my bases to get that lava bed look. I'm going to focus just on the elemental himself today. Too late, Chris. I just decided to go with fire. Oh, thank you, Alan. Support your muse. Now I am rinsing my brush. All right, I don't want to bring these dark grays into a vivid fire. Now, looking at the fire sculpt, I probably will be jumping between the two brushes because I do have that smaller brush and there are some more nooks and crannies in this one. Is there such a thing as an emancipated mini? Oh dear. Don't give my minis ideas. I'm looking at my wall of minis over here. Forget it. It'd be like a coup. They'd overtake the house and then some. They'd overtake the town with the count I have. Hello, War Mini Painting. How are you? Okay, let me put water over here by their paints. Never late. You can always just show up whenever you want and we'll say hi to you and welcome you with open arms. So now, with the fire, I'm telling you, allergies are nuts right now. You can see it's sort of a different look. It's not the bottom-up gradient approach. It's more the interior out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer these colors of metals, the metallics, not metals, of the metallics, starting with the lighter tone of a yellowy gold metallic, then shifting it over to a coppery orange, and then going to a fiery red metallic. If you simply have a yellow gold, this will work for you too. You can take that yellow gold and you can simply add in a couple drops of an orange and then a red. Again, remember, as you add a matte color to your metallics, it will reduce the sheen of the metallic, but it'll still work for you. If you have it where the matte overloads the metallic, then you won't get the blend you're hoping for. So play around with it a little bit. I will say that. And again, I'm keeping paints generic on purpose today so that people can play around with what they have at home. I don't want you feeling like you have to run out to the store or run over to an online store. You can use what you have at hand is my hope and goal. So I'm going to start off with this yellow gold first. All right, so any type of yellowy gold, you know, take a yellow, hold your metallic to it. If it's close to that color, then that's a yellow gold. Fire. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. It's a quote I like to pull out every so often as well. So I'm going to start with this yellow gold and basically dry brush the entire body. So this is going to be a little bit more heavier handed than what I'm going to do with the other two colors, because I want to make sure that this color persists as I add colors on top. Following? You follow along? Now, who else is a parent out there with the kiddos at home? Because I'm hearing different things about what school districts are doing. My kiddos have it. There's like a packet the one has, and a lot of it's also... Beavis voice just got me. Also have it where you can do stuff online. So it's been interesting. They've been pretty good about it. It's, rule is get up, obviously have breakfast, and then shift it over to, oh, is this too light of a gold? I may have to shift to a different gold. No, maybe not. No, I should be good. Okay. So they get up, they have their breakfast, and then they will jump over to doing their schoolwork. And once the schoolwork is done, it's sort of like, okay, open game. What would you like to do? It's kind of how we've been handling it. We'll see. We'll see how long that connects and sticks. So what I think I'm going to do, because this is actually going on extremely light, I am going to paint this mini with this gold. So if it's like you can barely see the color like this one, like I said, a lot of metallics, they go on very thin. So I'm going to paint this with the gold. Instead of doing a dry brushing, I think I'll get better results for what I want for that layer of color. There's also a hot glue strand caught up in my brush somehow. And in this case, I am going to poke the brush into the nooks and crannies here because I want that yellow gold to have a presence. Yeah, this is definitely one where painting it's going to be a better approach. You can see it there. So this whole mini is going to get painted in the yellow gold. Full out paints going on. I will say with these translucent minis, be careful when you get into those nooks and crannies, because a lot of times those will want to hold on to the globs of paint. So you may find you need to go back in and sort of smooth it out more. So I've switched from doing a dry brush to an actual painting them. In this case. Though you may find you want to blot your brush a little bit, because like I just said, these nooks and crannies really like to grab that paint. And I don't want it to hold on too tightly. No. Let's see. Oh, we have responses. Homework online last 7 days. Yep. Schools are closed here too as well. Bars are closed. Yep. Oh, that's good. Alan, that's a great idea. Or Bill, I'm reading your last name. Bill, that's actually a really cool idea. I like that. I haven't heard of that approach before. Yeah, it's sort of a catch-22, Adam. They're providing work. They're hoping the students can keep up. I actually have to report that my kids attended school this morning. There's a link I need to fill out for them. That, yes, this was done. So we're going to see what happens with this. I mean, a lot of people are falling into this same boat here. Hello, Jason. How are you? Jason is another mini painter. Realmsmith. I'm sure that's a name you'll probably recognize. Bill does. I like it when the chat turns into cheers. Like people come in and the name starts going, hey, like Norm, except right now it's Jason. That's always fun. This has got a very reggae sound going on right now. Again, for those of you who can hear the music, if you can't hear the music, I'll turn it up a little bit. I try not to make it too overwhelming, but I use TeknoAxe. Great provider of royalty-free music with permission, YouTube. I have permission in writing. You can't come after me. Ha ha. Ooh, that's always fun. See? The chat has turned into cheers. Which I love, especially knowing a lot of people are at home right now. The fun thing is that the kids are set up in the living room. So it's like a little classroom in my living room right now. And I have my workstation set up in the dining room, so I feel like such a school matron. I have my computer all set up, and I can like look directly into the living room, so that as things get more settled and figured out, this whole working from home and kids learning from home, we'll get a nice little groove going. I hope. But yeah, still doing the streams when I can, as I can. Hoping to do another one next Wednesday as well. We'll see what happens as things progress. I'm not trying to plan too far ahead of time. Shush. My phone is talkative today. Let's see. Jonathan, daughter's doing home through a school provided by Chromebook. Yes, Chromebook is definitely very popular. We have, luckily, we have an old laptop that we were able to resuscitate for Kid 2 to do their homework, which isn't as quite as technical as Kid 1. So Kid 1 got the computer itself, and Kid 2 got the laptop that gets, you know, online and such things. All right, almost done getting the yellow gold onto this fellow. And again, for those who might be just jumping in, I'm purposely using generic terms for paint colors. I'm not saying the brand or exact color itself because I'm trying to make this so that people can just grab and go with what they have at home. I'm trying to give you some tips too as you go along if you need to start mixing colors. You work with what you've got. I mean, does not say that all for this current state of things right now. Work with what you got. Of course, the fun thing is that with allergies kicking in, there are people who are like, is this allergies or am I getting sick? For me, it's definitely allergies, and I knew it would be happening because there are trees blossoming in Seattle. Come home and there are trees blossoming here. Oh, bloomin' hell. Quite literally, bloomin' hell. Let's see here. Virtual crafters meetup. Absolutely. That's kind of what I want to try and get going here. He has a different technique, Shannon. That's just it. It's always good to have more than one approach to it because everyone does things differently, which is good because everyone paints differently. So you've heard me say it before. I encourage people to go and check out other mini painters because there might be a technique that works for someone that I don't do. Because I have a certain style, Jason has a certain style, Brad has another style, Kai has her own style. There's a whole bunch of different ways of painting your miniatures. There's no wrong or right way of painting minis. I will say that. There are different approaches to painting minis. So no, he's not conflict of interest. If anything, we're kind of on the same team. Hey, Dungeon Matron! How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so here's my golden boy. I am going to let him, hold on, I just see a couple places I want to swoosh around a little bit. I'm going to let him dry because I've painted this instead of doing the dry brushing. So he's going to dry a little bit. We'll come back to fire. Like Jason said. See? That's what cracks me up. Aren't you guys in competition? No. Really, no. One person cannot paint all the minis out there. Unless they have, like, you know, eternal life and infinite time. Then maybe it's debatable. I mean, God, the minis I have here alone, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's a fire elemental, that one is, yes. And now I'm going to switch over to Werder, which is this lovely swirly boy. You know, not at all in relation to the toilet swirlies. All right, so this one's another fun one. You can see some really great grooves and details going on here. We're going to do blues. Let me show you the back packaging here. I like how they did different tones of blues here. They're going more with the darker grays into the lighter blues and the touches of that. I'm going to play around with this. I kind of want this more of like a Caribbean-esque type. So I'm going to work with that. Oh, now let's see here. Yeah, we'll show that for Bill. YouTube doesn't like certain things. All right, so I'm going for a dark purple, cool purple. Let's talk about tones. Okay, so you have different tones here. You have your warm tones, your neutrals, and your cools. Cool tones means an undertone of blue to it. Warm means an undertone of oranges or reds. Neutrals means it really doesn't shift in either direction. It's truly a neutral color. So I am using a cool tone purple because there are purples out there that are more of a warmer tone. You want to make sure you use a cool tone purple so that it goes with your blues. Just a little thing. A more warm tone purple, it's going to look reddish next to your blues. So I'm purposely using a blue tone purple. And if you have just a blue metallic at home and you want to create a darker purple blue, just add a little bit of purple and a little bit of a darker blue and you'll get a similar look. But this is a color I want to incorporate at the base of this water because you know how I am with reference photos. I'm always looking at nature. And then It's one of those things where I look at the hues I'm seeing in the photo that I'm looking at. In the particular photo I was looking at, which I can't share because, you know, copyright. It had the darker purples in the base of the wave, and then it shot up to lighter blues and stuff. So I want to try and capture that as best I can. So again, I'm going to switch back over to using the dry brush, and I did rinse my brush, so we're good there. Oh yeah, oh, you did not see the announcement? I'm working with WizKids, Dungeon Matron. That's the mystery company. It really is awesome. Wonderful, wonderful people. Really and truly. In fact, when I'm done with this stream, I'm going to jump into things I need to get done for work. Which, you know, hey, when it's still dealing with minis and everything like that, not so bad a job, I'll tell you. All right, let me see how this covers on this mini, because I actually haven't used this purple before. We might have another where I'm going to use this as a paint on instead of just dry brushing on. The joys of live streaming. Yeah, this is also pale, so I'm going to paint this instead. But this is also why I like these metallics for the more clear type of minis. And I really am focusing this purple down at the bottom. All right. So like fire, I am painting the purple on. And I am getting it into the grooves as well, because I want that purple to get there. And I don't want this to have an opacity. I do want it to be clear. Hello, John. How are you? Hello. It's good to see you here, sir. John's our rock star. Our resident rock star. Sounds like a dream job. It is. It's a good fit. Quite frankly, it's a really good fit. Amazing people. Really cool projects. That's about all I can say about that. Things in the works. Fun stuff in the works. That is for sure. And again, I just want to stress, yes, the channel is going to become more quiet as a result, because, you know, time. But you'll still see me painting and doing mini stuff and whatnot on the socials. It's just more the streaming time that's kind of gonna have to take a back seat until I can finally, you know, get a good routine going with work schedule, all of that. I love the chat right now. Oh, this warms my heart. You guys, the love is wonderful to see. So kind of like what I did with the air elemental, I am working at this and looking at this. Working? It's like looking and working put together. Working in this on thirds in my mind. So bottom third, middle third, upper third is what I'm doing here. Yes, John is another talented crafter who did have a YouTube channel here. Now he has a Facebook page, Dungeons and Glue Sticks. Though I still say you should change it to Dungeon and Drumsticks. Just saying. Just saying, sir. Because again, John's a rock star. I'm not kidding. He's in a band. Ooh, that's so wonderful, Hubbin. That's great. Good job, Hubbin. Bring the coffee. I love it. All right, I'm getting a little bit more heavy-handed now with the purple at the base, because I'm picturing the wave in my mind, and I really want to get this darker purple at the edge here, which you can see coming out. I may even get away with painting this one instead of just doing the dry brushing. You always adjust and tweak as you go along. And we're running a long time too, so that works out beautifully. I don't know about this song. Peace in this peace. How is this peaceful? Alliteration is everything. Oh, I love alliteration. I love alliteration. I am fully guilty of that. All right, I'm liking how that's looking. So here it is with the purple metallic at the base of the water elemental. I might have to watch Fifth Element after this. Or tonight or something. John's not fooling around. John makes gorgeous things. We did a cool collaboration, which sadly your part of the videos aren't there anymore, but he built these fantastic docks and piers and I painted them. That was fun to do. So you can see the painting. You can at least see his build with my paint tutorials. So that's in the video on demand section. I think I put that in Town and City Scatter playlist if you want to check that one out. And you can see John's amazing build. Ah, yes, Fifth Element. Lilu Dallas Multipass. One of my favorite movies. That and don't hate. Don't come after me. The Mummy. I need to watch The Mummy too. I was watching National Geographic and they had like this whole thing on Egypt. One of the days I was self-isolating. I think I'll use that one. Oh boy. That got me thinking about The Mummy. Looks like you're on the wrong side of the river. Yeah, I might have to. Oh, movies. There you go. What movie shall we watch? So right now I'm moving to a mid-tone, middle of the road metallic blue. All right, so it's not a bright turquoise blue. It's just a classic. Trying to think of something that's around the place that people can refer to color-wise. And my mind just went like, oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, but what? Like United States Postal Service, the blue and the UPS. Your United States Postal Service, not UPS. UPS is brown and yellow. What are you talking about, woman? Lure of the Mummy. Yes, the first Mummy. Let's be clear. The Mummy, not the stuff that comes after. The original one with Brendan Fraser, and that one is one of my favorites. I am a librarian, and I wanted to be a librarian at that time. Well, yeah, his wardrobe is my aspired aesthetic as well, in a roundabout way. Oh, let's see here. Oh, you guys are getting active. Excellent. Now, let's see. I'm going to first try with this blue and see. You know what? I think I'm going to go and paint this one on as well. Yeah, no, let me try dry brush first because there's a little bit more pigmentation in this paint. I don't want to regret it. Nope, painting. We're painting in. So what I'm going to do is I am going to paint this in as well. But you'll notice what I'm doing is I'm pulling the blue down into the purple to blend the two together before working the blue up further. So right now I'm focusing on blending these paints into each other, which is basically sort of start at the edge, and then you can work the brush up a little bit and down a little bit into the purple itself. And that I find with metallics helps pull the two colors together. So that's my focus here, is just blending right now. So you get the shift from the blue into the purple. And then I'll go back and pull the blue up higher so we get some true blue. Because I don't want to do a sea green mailman. Very easy answer. No, like I said before, I want to keep it more towards the Mediterranean blues. I don't want to go into Caribbean tones. Like I want those colors. So I'm focusing on those blues that I want. Not into the green family. I want to keep it cooler tones. Yeah, I like these colors together. And honestly, if you're trying to learn how to blend colors, metallics are a good way to start. They really are. They're forgiving for new artists. I found a lot of people who are trying to learn how to blend. I'll tell them, take your metallics and work with those first to learn how to kind of work the colors within each other. There we go. Right now I'm kind of doing a spot look and seeing if there's any places where I want to pull the blue down a little bit. Like I think I'm going to draw it down just a little bit through here. Just a little bit more. And then I'm going to pull this up. Like that. Just to intensify it a little bit. Ever so slightly. As a makeup artist I like to watch will say, ever so slightly. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, now I'm going to take this blue and work it up the body. It is 70 on Friday. Ooh, I will take that. I will absolutely take that. My daffodils are blooming. Came home and my daffodils are blossoming. It was lovely to see. The bloomin' daffodillies. Spring is trying. She's really trying to make her appearance. I kind of like the water elemental because it has this little thumb hold. I just stick my thumb in there. I heard a robin this morning as I was blearily-eyed waking up. So that was really nice to hear. It was a pleasant little nod to warming weather. Yeah, we'll see. Might have to look into doing a little bit of light gardening on the weekends. Between other stuff. We'll just take it a day at a time. Ooh, pear and peach trees to bud. Oh, well, that's a tease. I tell ya. Oh, did he have to go? Oh, Jake. Bye if you've left already. I'm so sorry. I totally missed that one. That's the problem when you're painting and you're talking. Sometimes you miss the goodbyes. Please don't ever take it personally if I don't say goodbye. It just literally means I didn't see it. Oh, I figured pear, Adam. Unless you are growing a bear tree. That would be interesting. Like a Build-A-Bear tree. Oh, could you imagine? Oh, a Build-A-Bear tree with cute little teddy bears that grow on it. And then my demented mind just went to like, but what if they're evil bears and like you pick them off the tree and then they go, arr! Oh, a lot of people have been sneezing more. You can hear it in my voice too. I get raspy voice with my allergies. That's always fun. Of course, right now, if anyone sneezes or coughs, it's death glares all around if you're out in public. You know, I get it. I get it. People are nervous. Can't blame people for being nervous. Oh, he's a pretty blue. Get this down the hand a little bit. All right, so I'm pulling this blue now up into that upper third portion because I'm going to blend the lighter blue into the mid-tone blue. But this is looking like that wave I was looking at. Hee hee. I'm a happy camper with that respect. Look at those blues. I love it. I love it. I love it. The Bear and Peach is a good name for a bar. Yes, it is. Jason, pay no attention to Jason. Too funny. Would they be gummy bears? You just lost me to gummy bears. I want a gummy bear tree. Please? For those of you who watch me play in gaming streams, you know I have an addiction to gummy bears when I play. I don't know why, but I need to eat gummy bears while I'm eating, or I need to eat gummy bears while I'm playing a game. Especially when I'm playing Cantriel. I need a sugar high for that girl. Oh, poor Jake. He just left the chat too. He gave her the keys to a ship. She's a captain now. Oh, this is going to be fun. Bouncing here and there and everywhere. Wild adventures there beyond compare, right? They are the gummy bears. Ugh. Yeah, that's kind of the hope here. We can kind of give each other a break from everything that's going on out there. Okay, so now I'm jumping to a turquoise blue. It's still a metallic, but it's a turquoise blue. So kind of like what I did before, I'm going to take this and I'm going to first put it onto the edges of where the last blue left off and work it into that blue and then pull it up to the rest of the area I want to cover. Let's see here. My favorite gummy bears. Well, I like Haribo best. Please sponsor me. I like Haribo the best, brand-wise. And out of all the colors, oh, this is a Sophie's choice because I like probably pineapple, quite frankly. I do like the ones that look almost clear. Oop, in frame. Yeah, I like those the best. All right, so with this turquoise, I'm painting it on as well because these blue metallics are definitely light. Light, light, light. Sounds like I might need an intervention. Never. Leave me my gummy bears. I need my gummies. Well, if I need an intervention, the guys at Nerdarchy, they are enablers. They got me 2 full 5-pound bags of gummy bears, along with a third one to be shared at the party, which I shared. I shared it, I'll have you know. but we only tackled about half of that bag. So I had, you know, about 12.5 pounds of gummy bears. There's still a full bag left. There's another one that just got opened. So I haven't gone through it as quickly as everyone's been convinced I would go through it. Or feared, I should say. As much as people feared I would go through it. So that's something, right? Okay, so right now I'm basically just taking this turquoise blue and blending it up to the top. And also putting a little bit more down closer to the mid-tone blue. And that's giving me that wave peak I was hoping with the way the colors go. Again, I can't show you the picture because it's not my picture to share. And, you know, YouTube and all. But yes, this is... You know what I may just do? There's going to be another step to this guy now that I'm looking. And this always happens when I'm painting minis. I'll get inspired to do something else. So I'm going to leave this guy... Yeah, I'm happy with this coverage. I'm going to leave this guy as he is right now to dry. Then what I want to go and do is I'm going to jump into the lightest silver that I had that I used on the air elemental. And I'm going to use that to dry brush across the body after a wash is the plan here. But yeah, I like this gradient of the dark purple up to the mid-tone blue to the turquoise blue at the top. Let's see here. Chili gummy bears. I wouldn't say no to that. Bacon gummy bear. No. I don't think I can get behind that one. What kind of paint is that? It is a metallic turquoise blue. You need a blood sugar. No, I don't. I'm good. Does the water elemental picture have a watermark? All over the place. Okay, so we're going to let water dry. Let's go back to fire. Fire. I went there. Okay, so he's got that nice yellow gold happening. And again, this was a metallic. Yellow gold metallic. All over. Now I'm going to jump to my coppery orange metallic. I'm going to try some dry brushing now. Get a bread, lettuce, and tomato gummy bear to go with that, and you'd have a sandwich. Oh, the bacon ones. Now I get what you're saying. Okay, so see, I'm not completely crazy by having gummy bears to keep me energized into the evening. Wait, yeah, not bacon. No, I like the chili, like the spicy gummy bears, because I like the cinnamon ones too, but I like the idea of a spicy gummy bear. It sounds fun, quite honestly. Pearl effect. Maybe. Honestly, I'm not, because the thing about the pearl effect is I find a lot of people don't have the pearl effect on hand, so I'm trying to stick to metallics with this one. So, let me jump over now to the, no, I just saw what my hands look like. Let me grab, here it is. I'm gonna clean my hands really quick because I noticed I have blue on one of my fingertips, and that's not something I want to get onto my fire elemental. Ironically, I always keep hand sanitizer next to my art studio desk because I don't have a sink down here. And that helps pull the color off. Oh, there we go. Looking for a paper towel I can use to wipe my hands. So let me get the blue off my hands first so we're not having fun with lots of different colors. And now that I'm saying that, this brush is... Let me grab... Here we go. Grabbing same style brush, just not used. Oh, you guys are going for these bacon gummy bears. Can you use any wash when painting elementals? If you have a wash at home that you want to use, it's available. By all means, use that wash. Go for it. My goal for this one is to make sure you're able to use what you have at hand at home. I don't want to assume that you're going to go out and be able to run to the store and grab things. That's really the whole purpose of today is, you know, let's stay cozy in the house. So, shifting over to that coppery orange. It's still metallics. This is all metallics today, folks. All metallics all the time. All right, I'm going to do a light blot. And then I'm going to dry brush this across the body. Fire. There we go. And I also like the metallics for the elementals because, you know, magic and stuff. So I'm going very lightly across here. And I'm going to do this across the entire body. And then we'll add in the red metallic. Does he have a six-pack? Are you kidding me? My gosh, we're still talking about bacon gummy bears. You may extinguish it. This is true. Although, let's say that this is like a oil-based fire. We might actually be encouraging it by washing it. Kitchen fire. Oh, God. Have you ever seen those take off? That's scary. If you're like, baking soda on hand. No, really, keep baking soda by your cook area. There are reasons. That's a great suggestion, John. Thank you. All right, here we go. Cross his little face here. Get the grr factor going. No, I do have some plans for the faces. Because I want those brought out. Now I'm making a point to really not go. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush in a second for the smaller areas. I am making a point to float this across the top. I don't want this to get super deep inside because I want that golden yellow to still sort of have its moment closer in the interior of the fire. Oh, God. I swear, if someone comes out with a bacon gummy bear, we know who is watching this one, right? We'll know. A Haribo lurker. Bacon-flavored bacon. Ranch-flavored bacon. How about that? Yeah, that's true, too. Alkaline-based. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Ranch-flavored bacon. Who's with me on that one? That sounds like a potato chip in the making. Make that a potato chip. We'll do that. Spam with spam. Oh, God. This is where you have to wonder, it's like, are we just getting punchy because we've been sequestered away, or is this our normal setting? It's my normal setting. I like outside the box thinking. Let me get this little tail here. Dip his school lunch in cheese pizza. Oh, yeah. There are people who will get ranch dressing on their pizza. I've heard of that before. Personally, I don't know. No, I haven't tried it myself. I'm switching to my smaller brush now. But it's a thing. It's a thing to go ranch on pizza, which I didn't see the appeal, so never ever tried it. But hey, if you've had that, how does it taste? I am curious. An inquiring mind wants to know. It's not a flavor combination I would automatically go to. Pizza and ranch. We could always get started about the Hawaiian pizza debate. Ham and pineapple. That I do like. I am a bitch punchy. Dungeon Matron admits to her punchiness. That's okay. We're all a little mad here, right? Alright. I think I'm going to call it with the coppery. I don't go too much more because I do want to get this red to come in and play. But you can see as I spin it around, you get the golden yellow underneath and then the copper pops out, which is what I want. So hooray. Hooray for that. Oh, Bill, you're a sweetheart. It does make it more fun when we get a little goofy with each other in the chats. I will say that. There's nothing wrong with making each other smile a little bit here and there. I highly believe in laughter is quite good for the soul. Very good for the soul, quite frankly. All right, now, let me see here. I want you to draw... We're flipping between fire and water. That's what we're doing. We're flipping between fire and water. So I'm going to go back to water now. Let me see. Are you dry? You are dry. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back to this fellow and do the wash. I'm going to do his wash. Actually, let's do air first. If we're going to do the washes while we're waiting for fire to dry, let's go to air because I know air is definitely... air is definitely dry. So I'm going to go back to air here and I'm going to use a black wash on my air. Now it's just getting funny to me. Where'd my wash brush go? Wash brush. There you are. So I like using this style brush for washes is what I go for. I find it gets it to follow along the lines nicely, and you can blot it out too if you need to. So that's what I'm going to use. And again, just a black wash. If you have a brand that you prefer, that's totally fine. This is straight up true black. And I'm going to start at the top and bring it down to the bottom. But I'm also going to really make sure I get it into the face. Start with the mug, the hidden mug. And then move the wash out a little bit. But this I want to just fall into those little grooves, just to bring those details out a little bit more. And I find it helps starting from the top and working down to the bottom, especially with the swirling factor. And just work your wash down. Let gravity work with you. Hello. Yes, I'm definitely going to let it air dry. With the fire elemental, I was working the brush against the texture of the flames. And the flames kind of come out in different directions, so you will need to shift your brush around as you go about doing it. That's a very good question, Adam. Barbecue on pizza, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Dial that back. So right now I'm focusing on getting the body done. I'm going to jump back over to the arms because this is swirling down nicely for me. And I want to keep this wash moving. And what you can even do is sort of tilt your mini and let the gravity work with you in that direction as well. I will get to the arms. So like I said, the body right now is my focus because of how the wash is going on. It's a brush. And you can see that's bringing out those details a wee bit more, which is what I want to have happen. Especially where the paint gets lighter, because then that's going to show off those grooves that much more. You can see how it's bringing that up. Ta-da! Ta-dum! Now it is debatable. If you have a gray wash, you could shift to a gray wash at this point. If you want to keep that a little bit lighter, that is completely up to you. I'm going to keep going with the black wash though. Personal choice. But you can see how that's all falling into the grooves now, bringing out those details a little bit more. Now it's looking like a tornado. Oh dear, where have we gone? A Seattle elemental would just be a water elemental comedically falling down. Oh jeez. There were some nice days while I was there. A couple sunny mornings at least. Honestly, the weather reminded me so much of London, I was quite pleased with it. I'm weird. I like that type of weather. It's pretty. Really is pretty. It was gorgeous. I didn't get out to the sound. I wanted to, but that didn't happen. So another time. We shall see. As to when, I don't know, but another time. I'm also just kind of like, I'm realizing there's spots that you can go back over a little bit. Alright, let's keep this moving because I'm seeing it starting to poodle. Don't want it to puddle too much at the base. Let me work a little bit more around this section here. There are these fantastic swirls in the base itself. Still in that clear plastic. So I'm getting the wash onto that as well. And then I'm going to move back up to the arms and let this guy dry. Air dry. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Now when you're doing a wash, if you find that you have puddles starting, you can just take your paintbrush, blot it off on a paper towel, pull more paint or pull more wash up onto the paintbrush, and then blot on the paper towel again. It'll help you pull up any excess. Okay, so that is the body. Let me get the arms. Oh my god, the pressure washer comment. Oh, God. Wait, a sewer elemental? Wow. Ooh, thank you for the suggestion, Adam. Yeah, give the druid more places to visit with nature. I'm all for it. That is the one thing I'm looking forward to is, you know, getting back outside and all my little animals in the backyard coming back. The bunnies and the fawn and the fox. The bear can keep into his den as far as I'm concerned. That bear, the bane of my existence. The reason why I can't have a bird feeder bear. I'm not still bitter about that. Oh, no, not at all. Bear climbed up and over the deck to get a bird feeder that was out in the middle of February a couple years back, and then proceeded to walk across the pool and do some damage to the pool as a result of, you know, walking across the ice slick on top and breaking it, and it went into the liner. Oh, it was just a mess. It was truly a mess. All right, so this guy has his wash on him. Ooh, look at those folds. I'm going to let him dry. Air dry. Although, hold on. Sing a little poodling right here. It's funny, that shows up more in the camera than it does in real life. All right, cool. You sit there and you dry like a good little air boy. And now we'll go back to, let's do water. We'll do the wash on water. And then we'll go to fire. Dryer element. Oh my God. Well, yeah, of course. I can go right into Eevee if you want me to. I did hear about that, Adam. It sounds like just there's a whole bunch of different terrain out there, which is awesome. All right, let me put away my black wash. And now I'm moving on to a dark blue wash. I do have a dedicated dark blue wash. Like, it looks like a navy blue in the bottle. If you don't have washes, you can use thin down inks for this. Keep that in mind. That is another possibility. Where am I? There it go. There it go. Where my brush? Come back here, lovely. So again, same concept. Start at the top, work to the base. I'm going to start up here. And draw it down. Now this one I'm going to go for a thin coat. So I'm really going to work what I have on the brush here down as much as possible. But I want the texture of those waves to pop out a little bit more. So between this and then the silver dry brush that I want to do, that'll get the job done. There we go. So seeing you getting more of those waves now. Ooh, wavy. Oh God, could you imagine D&D with this group? I just imagine DMing all of you. That would definitely be interesting. I don't have time to DM another game, but that would be interesting. Idea for the future, perhaps. It is interesting. People are asking if I would ever DM at conventions. It's not something I've ever considered outside of DMing at the castle. And when I was on Patreon, I did do a couple of Patreon-based games. Those were fun. Those I very much enjoyed. A lot of it is just timing and lack thereof, because, you know, life. That always kicks into gear on you. Get the arm, and then I'm going to work to the back a little bit more. So this is with the back getting it. Just bring out some of those details. I'm going to move it to the front. To the front. To the front. No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Play it Viking. There is a Viking-esque game live stream being played right now with two of my lovely friends, the Opera Geek and Arasavad. It's on Little Red Dot's channel. I want to say it's Tuesday evenings. If I'm not mistaken, I forget the name of it because I am terrible with the name of streams. You use a little howly face. Howling face. So that has a Viking tone to it if you want to watch a game that kind of goes Viking mode. What class would you make your Viking? I kind of, like, mentally I'm thinking Paladin or Barbarian. Paladin for, like, the, you know, chief, and Barbarian for just a general Viking type. What do we think? Look at his face. Look at that watery grimace. I'm going to hold him upside down a little bit through here. There we go. Sort of an awkward angle. It's getting interesting. I'm getting down to the thumb hold. Fighter. Oh, yeah, that's true. You could do fighter, too. How could I forget fighter? I'm playing a fighter. Duh. Well, I mean, that's just it. I think people would default mostly to barbarian for class. But yeah, fighter would be good as well. Could also probably do like a druid for like the mystic healer type thing. That would be a cool class to incorporate into a Viking culture. This is not a topic I was expecting. A gummy bear elemental? I would eat it. It will be mine. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Actually, not yuck, yuck, yuck. Yum, yum, yum. Gimme, gimme. God, now I want a gummy bear. She says, mm-hmm. Gummy bear, sure. Just very carefully. I'm actually pulling from the bottom up just because of how I'm having to hold this. But you can see the blue is getting into the purple. It's giving it that depth that I wanted. Might have to put this down and paint the rest of it. We shall see if I can get what I want to get. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this down in a second. My thumbs are in the way. Doodle-doodle-doo. Just make sure before I put it down I've gotten all the spots I wanted to hit. I'm also going through and just quickly, a couple of places where it's puddled a little bit, quickly going back in and pulling that out. Before I put this guy down, just going through and catching catching the poodles. There's an image. Alright. Set you down carefully. Just those edges. What toothache attack is? Like something grapple. Definitely grapple. It's almost a default setting because they're so sticky. What else would be good? Somehow they put you into a coma. Yeah, high blood sugar level attack. Oh god. What you talk about? Oh, you know, just gummy bear elementals. All right, so that's water. I'm gonna let water dry. Hee. Would it be weak against the Muse? Absolutely. I would have immunity. I would full on have immunity to any gummy bear attack. Oh god. No, I don't want that to happen at all. I don't want a gummy bear elemental. Absolutely not. Why would I want a gummy bear elemental? See, we just can't have nice things. Okay, back to fire. Fire needs his red metallic. So again, if you don't have a red metallic at home, you can take a gold metallic and add in a little bit of red paint to give it a reddish tone and go in that direction. And I'm going to jump over to, not that brush, this brush. Don't want to use the wrong brush. I do have a red metallic, so I'm going to use that one for sure. Actually, she says as she's holding it. Alright, and there we go. Ooh. Oh, for the love of Pete. It's got a glob at the bottom of it. Yeek. No. I'd have full-on advantage against gummy bears. They are mine. Okay, shifting over to the red. Let me just fold my towel a little bit better. Gummy bear transformer. And let's go in with the red. And let's see what we get here. It's actually a little bit more subtle, but Considering the wash I want to use, I think I'm going to like the results. So in this case, I'm actually keeping the red towards the very upper portion of these flames. Let me get the clawed hand here. I may even... I'm thinking... I don't want to go too ham with the red and then just make this look like it's full out. Oh, that would be funny. What if the gummy bear elementals like bonded together to make larger, like the bigger gummy bear that you can buy? Like, what is it, a 5-pound gummy bear in and of itself? I may actually go in and do a straight up red at the very end of this. I'm deciding. Because there's also a wash I'm going to use. It's a very vivid yellow wash. And I love what it does to give things a fiery look. It's a sunshiny yellow for a wash, which is great. Power Rangers. We're back to Power Rangers? How do we end up with Power Rangers again? We always circle back to Power Rangers in this group. Oh, God. I can see the red pop out a little bit better when my hand's behind it. But that's a good sign. That means it's keeping its transparency. Now, what's funny is I found that this color has actually been really good for my camera to behave itself. It's been getting feisty with me. A dire gummy bear. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, please. Can we make this a thing now? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, it's just this big broad brush. The broad brush. Just taking the broad... Oh, it's funny, you can really see the red when I put it onto that base. But once you put the hand behind it, you're getting the red popping out too. Woohoo! Little armpitties. Get the inside here. I think I'm going to flip to the smaller brush in just a second. Yeah, I'm going to go smaller soon. The little brush. Smaller brush, where'd you go? Here you go. Ah, la da 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 da. Could you imagine V's monster manual? With the monsters we create on these things? Good lord. It would have to take place in the Feywild. Full stop. End of story. There is no way these creatures would be anywhere else. Unless it's like a special level of hell. I don't know. Alright, went to a smaller brush because there's smaller details I want to be able to get. And the bigger one is kind of glossing over them. Especially here on this fire tail. It's a fire tail. Mold it with hot glue so it's still bendy. Oh my god. We're actually discussing how to make a gummy bear. A dire gummy bear at that. Get the back through here. Yeah, just a couple little areas that the other brush was not hitting that I wanted to get. Oh, I like this song. Sheltered in Subdued Rain. That's a good one. These folio of villains and varmint. Well, there's the alliteration. We've got it. There's the alliteration. Ta-da! I am going back to the bigger bits of flame and just putting a little bit more red on the edges there. But here's our fiery fellow. Roar. A roar. Orange jam. Oh my gosh. Well, now we've just jumped to a different food. Oh, I guess it could be like a distant cousin. Fruity jelly, liquidy stuff. Yeah, I'm liking this with just a little bit more on the larger bits of flame. Of just the red, kind of catching those. Yeah, I like that look a lot. Alright, I'm going to stop here. I don't want to overload him. Put him down. Quite frankly, I missed the whole putting in anything for Toba Beast 2. Even though I got that level, I forgot there was a deadline that was so close to when it came to a close. I had an idea for it. Oh well. You'd have to factor in if the gummy bears were soaked in anything too. Just saying. In terms of like their attacks and the effects they'd have on it. I want to see if... Ooh, why is that wobbly? I want to see if I can go back to water quite yet. What you don't want to do with dry brushing, this, as you can see, it's drying, it's pulling it as I want it to. What you don't want to do with dry brushing in a wash is dry brush when the wash is still wet. That's not good. It's actually really bad. It'll start pulling the wash into your dry brushing and just muck the colors up big time, make everything very muddied. But you can see how the wash has really defined this guy a lot more. And this is looking like the wave I was looking at, so I'm super excited about that one. I definitely want to go in, though, with that silver and just hit some higher points on him to sort of give it that little edge of clear that you'll see in waves. I want this to dry just a little bit longer. Oh, you know what I'll do? I have my space heater on. I'm just going to tuck them on my table near my space heater. That usually helps. If you're drying things and you have a space heater, do not put things too close to space heaters. It'll do stuff to your plastics. Not speaking from personal experience, actually. Speaking from, you know, people asking me, why did my mini do this? I put it by the heater. Huh. Well, the first phrase was put it by the heater. He is almost there as well. He's got that fun little gloss going on. He's almost dry. I think what I'll do is I'm going to do his eyes. Since he's almost dry, I can definitely jump into his eyes, which sounded odd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take straight up black, and I'm going to put it into the eyes and the mouth, and then look back at some other metallics and see if I can do something fun with... I don't know. I'm kind of seeing it as black in the mouth, and then maybe... Oh, I might do that purple. Do the purple in the eyes. I think I'm going to do that. I'm tempted to put a frightened fish inside the water elemental. Eep! That would be rather hilarious. I see where you're going with that one. The fish actually controls it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's a riot. Okay, going in basic black. Nothing fancy, just black. I'm mad at this brush. I'm not using this brush. I'm going to actually get a more pointed tip brush. And use that. Okay, so. Into. He's actually got very deep set eyes. So I'm kind of just wiggling the paint back and forth. But that's basically blacked out the eye, which is what I want. Yeah, they're really deep set eyes. There's one. Turn them over, get the other one, and then I'll paint the mouth. Put a shocker lizard inside the water element. Oh my god. Oh, you all are freaking hysterical. There you go. A water elemental with some sort of electric creature caught inside of it. There's an encounter for you. Right. You can see his eyes are both blacked out right there. I'm going to go in with that purple metallic for the eyes. I think that'll be fun. Oh, Virus Dodger's that name. Hello. Oh. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, what you're looking at. It was definitely a very cool development for me. Quite happy. All right, going in now and just giving the mouth full on matte black. Whoa. If I ever meet a fellow named Matte Black, I will have a heyday with that one. I use you all the time. Now there's not exactly a definitive end point to the mouth. It sort of swirls out, so use your best judgment. I kind of followed the natural course of one of the swirls. Now I just need that to dry. Let me check out our water fellow. Thundercloud. Oh man. Can I? I think I can. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put black in. And then I will... Ooh, I think I'll do silver in this one's eyes. Oh yeah. You're far in there. So I'm almost stippling in the paint to get that eye filled in. And that stippling is moving the brush up and down very carefully. But yeah, I like that for his eyes. And then going in and popping it with a little bit of silver. Yes, Viper, it does show up in every anti-smoking campaign ever made. The air elemental. Have you seen WizKids Pathfinder water elemental? Oh, God, it's gorgeous. That's one I pass by every so often in the warehouse, and I'm just in awe of it. It's a beautiful thing. Now, kind of the same thing here. There's not an exact line as to where its mouth would fully end. So I'm just going to go in, play around a little bit here. Debating if I want to keep it small like this or make it more open mouth. Kind of want to go more open mouth with this, honestly. Yeah. I'm going to draw it out just a little bit more. Again, it's deep in there. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Whoa. You know, because water engulfs, so you'd think, you know, its mouth would engulf whatever it's about to go after. Okay, so there's water. That is good. Now fire. Oh, I just had an idea. Let me get fires as well as it dries. Basically going in with black for all of them. Yeah, that was way too much paint on my brush. And then I'll go back in and give them, at least on their eye area, a little flash of metallic. It'll still be black, but it'll have this tone of a metallic to it, which I like to do with magical creatures. For sure. Doodly-doo. Okay, so we have his eyes. Let's get the mouth. Ah, da-da-da-da-da. Let me see here. How are we doing on time? 1:30. 1:30 on the mark. Very cool. He's got his mouth right here. Actually, he's kind of got... little ooh face. Oh. Oh, he mad. He's just mad. Oh. I'm half tempted. I don't know if I want to. Kind of want to take a little bit of the black here and just... Yeah, I do want to do that. I'm going to take a little bit of that black and I'm just sort of dancing it across the eyebrow zone. Kind of like it got a little bit of smoky flame around the face, just to bring the face out a little bit more. Let me switch to a different brush for this. I'm going to go back to a... You can absolutely do that for your miniature, mailman. Go for it. All right, so I am going to do an extremely dry brush with black on it. So I'll put black onto my flat brush right here, and there's barely any left on it. And I'm just going to very carefully and lightly draw it around the face a little bit, because I want to smoke the face out. And this is very light and gradual. I don't want to make it too crazy. There we go. Give him more of a smoky effect there. I think what I'll do is just put in a couple more bits of smoke around the body doing that. Absolutely. You know, change it up a wee bit here and there. That's almost too dry of a dry brush. So kind of going back to the highest points, and actually, let me get the claws. Let's definitely do this on the claw area. Why are we talking about clam chowder all of a sudden? Yes, that's what I want. Look at that. I like that on the claws. Bring that down a little bit. And this is just pure black. So it gives it sort of that smoky look. In the end, remember, it's your mini. Play around with it as you wish. And honestly, try things out. Worst case scenario, very worst case scenario, is you just strip your paint off and try again. You learn by trying, quite frankly. Yeah, I definitely like this for the little accents for the body. We're a food channel, apparently. Yep. He looks like he's burning up. Womp womp. All right, I'm just going to very carefully and quickly, very lightly, I'm going around the body just to get some of the highest points with that black. Not everywhere. Not looking for every single fold or flame, but just to kind of give those licks of smoke. I think that is what I want on here. Just to add a different element of, well, not element, yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah, I like how that is looking. If this is something you don't want to do, you can omit this step, absolutely. You don't have to go there. So this is the food and face channel. Oh, Jesus. Oh, warn me before you put something like that out there. That's awesome. The food and face channel. I mean, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. Yeah, I like this. I like these little touches of charring going on here. Okay. So I'm going to need him to dry some more again. Morgan. Is your name Morgan? Get a little bit in there. Rawr. See that? Okay, he needs to dry a little bit before I do his wash, so I'm going to go back and do, I think I can do the silver now on the water elemental. You learn by failing. Quite frankly, it's true. Sometimes your mistakes teach you more than watching a lesson. It's, you know, sort of a standard with a lot of creative processes and even other things in life. You're making your family wait. Well, you know, give them something to look forward to. If it's just the start of your day, by all means. Oh, I see what I keep putting my glass down on. I'm like, why does this keep popping around on me? All right, so I'm going to go back to my lightest. Actually, I have an even lighter silver I'm going to go for. Where are you? I'm looking for it right now. Here we go. Is that it? No, this is it. All right, so I'm going to go for a super light silver. I'm going to use it to dry brush on to water ever so slightly. It's an ever so slightly dry brush. I'm not going to need a lot of paint for this because I'm going to go back to the bigger one. Homebrew Elemental Arrogance. Ooh, Nathan, that's rather interesting. So what did it do? I'm intrigued by this concept. Okay, this is a very light silver tone metallic. I'm just going to draw it across. Just the highest upper portion areas. I'm not looking to get this into every little bit of it. Kind of like how I did the black on the fire elemental. My hand is barely brushing over it with pressure. You're literally feathering the bristles of the brush over it. Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. There we go. That was just the first dip, and I'm almost done with the miniature itself. You really don't need a lot for this step to start bringing out the upper ridges of the water. I just need a little bit more for the face, and I'm going to call it on him, and then I'll go in with the same silver I'm using right now and just dot those eyes a little bit with it. I'm going to focus it a little bit more around the face so it pops out more. Let me get the tips of the arms. Not quite hands yet. We'll call those the arms. Really want to get that portion. So there we go. That gets the silver on. I don't want to do more. Did I get done? Oh, not quite. Hold on. Hold on. Forgot the edge here. Just going to go around and sweep the edge with it. I'm going to take the same silver and just go in for the eyes and just give them a little bit of a shine for that. Ooh, no, no, no. Stand up, dear sir. Do. You guys are awesome. I love it when the chat just goes off on their tangents. Okay. Very light silver going in. If you wanted to leave it black, absolutely. I just kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a shimmer, quite frankly. So see, just that little touch. Doesn't make it as much of a stark contrast as before. But you can still see it. So there you have the eyes. I think I'll do a little in the mouth. Yeah. And in the mouth. So there we go. Roar. So there is our water. That's pretty much done for water. So water is all set and done. We did our gradient of purple, metallic purple to mid-tone blue to a turquoise blue. Then did a wash of blue. Dry brush with a light silver. And did black and the eyes and the mouth, and then the light silver again over it, just a very light coating. So that takes care of our water elemental. He's done. I am happy with you. You look like the wave I was looking at in the picture, and that makes me happy. All right, so that's that one. I think I'm going to do a little bit of the silver, since I have it going, why not? A little bit of the silver on air. Literally on air. Really want to get his face to pop out more, so that's why I'm going in with the silver here for him. Not too crazy. Just enough for those edges. See? Just a wee bit. Same thing, like I just did with water. I literally just want to get the ridges that are going on here. So I'm barely hitting the brush against the material. You will find you want to turn your brush a little bit for those curvatures. Pull in a different direction. Not dwell too much on it. Pull around the base. Is this the one that goes silent on me? It is. Like, what happened to the music? Hello. There we go. Hello, Brian Scott. Been working on elementals today. And almost done. Just need to do the wash on fire. All right, so that's air. And I think I'm going to do the purple in air's eyes. I really want to steer in that direction. I don't know why, but my eye is seeing purple. Yeah, it's kind of like a tornado. Think of what tornadoes look like when they're kicking around. Is the concept I'm going with. Oh, hold on. There's a glob of purple there I don't want on the brush. See? It's that touch of purple in there. You don't need a lot. A little touch. Just a little sprinkling. Hello! Music elemental is left. I thought I would be singing, but there hasn't been too much to get me going, phrasing-wise. Alright, so it's purple in both of the eyes. I might do a little bit more on this one now that I'm looking at it. There we go. Purple. Yeah, I like that for the eyes. Don't think I'm going to do in the mouth, though. I'm going to leave just the eyes with that glowing purple to them. Alright, well, obviously the base is not done, but the clear portion, which is what I wanted to show you guys, that is settled and squared away for air. Alright, fire, we're just going to do this yellow wash on him. Oh, the sky turns like a weird lime green. It absolutely has a greenish tinge to it sometimes. Okay, so this is a yellow wash that I'm putting on. A bright, cheerful yellow. And I really like using these washes, a bright yellow on fire, because of how everything responds to it. And it gets like this fiery glow to it, which is why I'm going to go in and use it on this. So again, starting at the top and bring it down. And he's a flame. Now he has a lot of nooks and crannies. So you're going to be finding that you really need to dab your brush into the crevices of the flames as you work around. Absolutely. There are just some minis that need a little bit more dabbing with your wash because of all their texture. But now he's got this really cool glowing look to him. Fiery glow. That's always the fun part with these washes when it comes to fire stuff. Fire! Now, unlike the other two, I am not going to go back in and do any further dry brushing on them. This is going to be the last step for fire, because I've already put in that smoldering black ahead of time. And I just want this wash to sort of blend things together a little bit and add that glow. I really am a fan of this wash. This is one I always make sure I have on hand, this bright yellowy wash. Whenever I do firework, it adds to it. Especially when it comes to the lava beds. Yeah, tornadoes kick up a lot when they hit ground. God. The way they sound when they hit ground, too. Oh, my Lord. I will always remember what a tornado sounds like. I've been through two. Thank you, Texas. That was a crazy year. It was like 2 tornadoes and a hurricane in 1 year. Now, I'm not worrying about the base because when I go back in to paint things over, that's going to get covered up, so I'm not concerned that the wash is going onto the base. Definitely poke your brush in though. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to put too much more wash on this one because it's going to really start puddling up. Didn't have a basement. How did they get away with that? So here's the fire elemental. Drying. But done as well in terms of that clear plastic. And you still get, when you hold it up, this transparency going on that happens with it. It'll still like pick up the light and play around with the light more. So there you go with this one. And I'm definitely going to do glamour shots of these guys so you can see them a lot better, because you can tell between from here to up here. It looks, you get your differences in lighting, because right now this is overhead lighting, so you're getting more of the golds and everything popping up. Now this is indirect, so it's picking up more of the red tone. But that is the fire elemental all set and done. And then, ooh, my hand's got something on them. Hold on, before I pick up the other two. Let me just quickly rinse my hands off. It's like a really small dust devil. Pretty much. Although if you crank it up to scale, oh my god. Let's not go there. All right, and here we have air. Now he's popping up a little bit more blue. Oh, translating. Okay. See, the camera's picking up the background. So that's this guy. And then finally, water. Which I'm pleased to bits with this one. For sure. Doodaloo. So I'll get pictures of these guys once they're fully dry. And you can see what they look like. And yes, there is an earth elemental. Okay? There is earth, but he is a standard solid mini, pre-primed, all that goodness. Go in and paint him up however you so choose. I'm still kind of debating if I want to. I think I might do like a red earthy elemental. Have some fun with that. Like almost like, not clay, but something like that. Warmer tones, not just stone. But there is an earth elemental. The reason why I didn't do the earth elemental today is because it is not the clear translucent plastic, which a lot of people have been asking me about. So this is one of the ways I will go about painting this style of plastic. I really do like using metallics on them. Again, metallics go on a little bit lighter. They don't have the opacity that standard paints will have, so I find it has some really good results. You will find there are other techniques to paint these as well. Go and check them out by all means and see what's out there. The more you learn, the more you discover, the better it is for you as a mini painter. So that is it for me for today. Next week I will do another live stream. I'll pick a different mini out and see which one I want to do, and we'll take it from there. So for right now, please, for those of you who are self-isolating, please take care of yourselves. Make sure you're reaching out on social media and keep in contact with everyone. We're living in a world where just because you're isolating yourself physically doesn't mean you have to isolate yourself completely. So reach out, find me over on Twitter, find me on Facebook, Instagram as well. I'll put some pictures up on Instagram of these dudes, and a couple other places. Just come and say hello, and I look forward to hearing from you. But that is it for today. I can't wait to see what next week brings, and I'll see you then. Same time, same place, same location. It's just going to be on a different date. All right. Take care, everybody. Find my mouse, and I'm going to say bye.